I think I understand what's happening with the Spring Revolution, these Muslims and so on in the Middle East. Folks were so tired of the war on terrorism, and it was definitely creating a serious problem for the West. So now, probably some people are excited to see that this thing is imploding, they're destroying themselves. But the war on terrorism and the Muslims were just one of the tools that the enemy was using. That's just one of the tools. It's not the ultimate enemy. For example, people are thinking that the enemy has to get a big army to really make a run and beyond the Battle for Armageddon and the New World Order and all this stuff. Hey, you got secret societies that they control the generals, they control all the big boys, and therefore they don't need no army again. Use the army to destroy it, to get the objectives achieved, and the whole 9 yards. No, this was just, the Muslims were just being used by the enemy to bring the West to its knees, just like how they used Israel after the war, Second World War, to put Israel into the Middle East, to put the UN in place, and both of them are right now creating a whole bunch of problems to the West. Now, if Israel was not in the Middle East, would the Arabs be our enemy? Well, at one time, they seemed to be supporting the Soviet Union, and therefore they might have been a natural enemy, yada, 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 yada. But the bottom line is that the enemy is doing a variety of things, and you know what? Your friend is the enemy, and you don't know. And your friend telling you, see, that fellow, we need to kill him because he is just lying. That's the enemy, And as I said, the Muslims was just one tool. Al-Qaeda, Taliban is just one tool. On their side, the various enemies that they're using at different times and so on. But the bottom line is this, that we need to understand how the enemy is morphing and how the paradigm shifts and all this kind of stuff they come up with. The bottom line is that they're destroying our families, our education, our economy, or politicians, or war machine, they're grinding it down, sports to make it into a big joke. And eventually they're going to have us, slung up. And in fact, I expect somebody to go to jail one day because, how things moving, so on. So, I'm saying here, try to understand who the enemy is. I know if I tell you who the enemy is, I know you're going to say I'm crazy. I know the next thing you know, I'm going to be arrested and put in jail. So I ain't going there, okay? But look around, and for your own self, look at the various people that are talking nice and so forth, and, speaking fast and with honey dropping from the lips. It's the enemy. And as I said, if I tell you who the enemy is, you're going to hate me. I'm not going to be shot or arrested and put in jail and put on that medication and blow my brain up. I'll be imbecile very shortly after that. So I'm not going to go there, except God says do it, in which He's going to protect me in an extreme way. Okay? Running the forest and then you take care of me over there. But right now, I don't need to. It's not expedient to know who the enemy is, but just to be careful and to think clearly. So I'm saying that the Muslims, whether they call it Al-Qaeda, the Taliban, or independent suicide bombings, whatever, those are just tools the enemy has used to offset superpowers and strong nations. So don't get fixed on these Muslims now and saying, oh, they're the enemy, that you see them implode. No, they're going to be your problem next. The next problem is that you're going to have to come and support the economies. That's all. They're not the enemy. We're not the enemy. Let's be careful now.